Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a good one. One fight that sort of slipped under my radar, will threaten to. I don't know about if this is the same for you, but it's probably because of all that talk of Haney and Prograis and that big fight coming up in the build-up. But there's a fight on Sky on Saturday night between Chris Billam-Smith and Mateusz Masternak of Poland. And I think we can safely say at 36 that Masternak is probably past his best. He's never been a world champion, although he was an EBU champ, I think about 11 years ago. And he's also won kind of a slew of, IBF, WBO, Intercontinental, European belts and fought for. So he's sort of nudged world class, if you know what I mean. And as things stand, he's 36 now. Billam-Smith is probably in his prime, I think we can say. Billam-Smith, already considered a bit of an overachiever. He's 33 already. I thought he was about 30, 31. I checked. He's 30, 33. So he's having this sort of, he's kind of a late bloomer, but he's doing very, very well. He came back from that defeat to Richard Riakporhe, which was a split decision back in 2019. He built on that, and of course he had that car wreck of a fight with Lawrence Okoli to win the WBO belt, and this is his first defence. So an intriguing matchup. Masternak comes in with 47 wins and 5 defeats. 31 of his wins are by KO. One of his defeats is by stoppage, and that was to Gregory Zorod, which was, I believe, his only, that's his only stoppage, I think. Yeah, he got stopped in 11 rounds. The rest, a couple of them were split decisions. I know he lost to Tony Bellew at one point. And he's a good, very, very good, long-term European level fighter who's sort of nudged world status, but has never really, he's never held a world title, let's put it that way. But still a very durable, very capable operator, and probably a good first defence for Chris Billam-Smith. The closest to winning a world title that Masternak ever came was I think it was about 9 years ago. I think it was about 2014. He lost a split decision for an interim title, WBA interim title, and that was to Yuri Kalenga. And since then, I don't think he's fought for a world title since. It's always been those sort of secondary belts. But again, a good European level fighter, good test of the waters for Billam-Smith. Will probably take Billam-Smith rounds. And if Billam-Smith can knock him out, or stop him on his feet, or make him quit, I think that would be a good feather in his cap. Billam-Smith is 2 inches taller at 6'3", and as I say, is only 3 years younger. Having said that, of course, Billam-Smith turned pro only 6 years ago, 2017, whereas Masternak turned pro in 2006. So he's been a pro for 17 years. I think we know about Billam-Smith because of the fights that I mentioned. He's got some very good wins. He twice beat Tommy McCarthy. His second one was by stoppage, 8-round KO. He beat Isaac Chamberlain. That was a good fight, very good fight. Unanimous decision. Chamberlain's a good fighter. I think he's going to do things certainly at European level. Unanimous decision. That was back in 2022. And unanimous decision over Vasyl Dukar at the time. Dukar had a sort of as a patchy record, but it's probably better than that record suggests, I think. But he's not a bad fighter at all, Billam-Smith. And as I say, probably an overachiever would be the correct phrase to use. You wouldn't say it's an Indian summer of a career because he turned pro quite late anyway. But there's no doubt about it that as an orthodox fighter trained by McGuigan, Shane McGuigan, I think that partnership has paid really strong dividends. And McGuigan, he's turned out to be a really, really good trainer. The results he's had out of some of these fighters it's really, really good, male and female. Masternak, this is probably large chance saloon, certainly at world title level. I think he's a rank underdog. He hasn't fought this year at all. You have to go back to October 2022 when he won a wide decision over Jason Watley. That was over 12. I don't know whether that was for a belt or not. Prior to that, he had, I think it was it two or three fights in 2021. Two of those were stoppages against. I mean, he beat Arman Zarjaz or Zarjek. I can never pronounce the guy's name. That was a 4-round stoppage in an 8-rounder, but then and he had quite a flattering record, did Mr. Armand. But yeah, I don't know. Not great opponents really. He's sort of been treading water at European level, domestic or European level. But 31 KOs out of 47 wins can't be sniffed at, I suppose. And Billam-Smith seems to have a good jaw, good chin. Like I say, Billam-Smith's an orthodox fighter, as is Masternak. So I don't think that we'll have to worry about any kind of clash of styles. Masternak seems to be one of those typical Eastern European, sort of, particularly the Polish fighters. They come strong, like a mixture of pressure and a sort of pressure from what you might call conventional boxing skills. There's very rarely get a Polish fighter who's sort of unorthodox or unconventional. It's normally jab, right hand, jab, maybe a left hook thrown in. There's nothing unusual about his style at all. But then you could probably say the same about Billam-Smith. Billam-Smith, interestingly, but this is something I didn't expect, in the fight against Okoli, he did floor Okoli a few times. And even if you allow for one of those to be a slip, perhaps, nevertheless, I think Billam-Smith showed a lot more power than I thought, although Okoli, he's just never been right, has he, in recent years? Not since there was that whole Matchroom versus Sky standoff, legal threats and all that. I wonder if Okoli's outgrown the weight, because he was going on the floor pretty easy, and he suffered a couple of knockdowns and stoppages as an amateur as well. So was it a case of Billam-Smith flattering to deceive with the power? Will he put a dent in Masternak? I don't think so. I think Billam-Smith will use his conventional skills, try to establish the jab. He won't be backing off. Certainly won't be running, but he's not going to have to go looking for Masternak. So he might box off the back foot and allow Masternak to come forward, which I think inevitably he will. It might be a bit of a jab fest for a round or two. I see Billam-Smith gradually, maybe after 3 rounds, really getting his rhythm going, starting to get a little bit more adventurous with some combinations, trying to gradually erode Masternak's resilience. 12-round fight, 36 minutes. I think Masternak will be there. It depends on how much ambition he's got left. This surely is his final attempt at a world title. This is a voluntary, of course, so really you would think he would let it all hang out and really put the pressure on, try and be up for it, fire in the belly, really push Billam-Smith. But I think Billam-Smith, especially with Shane McGuigan holding the reins, will probably be able to contain and control Masternak. Any kind of rushes, if he gets a little bit more cavalier, a little bit more excitable, Billam-Smith will stay controlled. If he needs to, he'll go back to the jab, just bang, bang, bang with the jab, and then fire the odd right cross just to keep Masternak honest. I think he has the superior footwork as well, Billam-Smith. So I can see him maybe giving Masternak a few angles, trying to keep him off balance if the rushes get a bit much. To be honest with you, I just don't see Masternak outboxing Billam-Smith at all, as much as I think about it, trying to play devil's advocate in my head, but I don't really see it. I think what will happen is, after 2 or 3 rounds, Billam-Smith will start to get his rhythm going, his engine running. Masternak will be game. There's no quitting the man, I don't think. But I can see Billam-Smith winning a wide points decision over 12 over 12 rounds. And 117, 111, maybe 118, 112. Yeah, at least 7 rounds to Billam-Smith, in my opinion. And yeah, a sort of comfortable, nice little 12-round run around, first defence. I think that'll be great for Billam-Smith. Good for his confidence, good for his experience. But I don't think Masternak will shame himself. He's coming all the way from Poland. He'll put up a decent fight, but I can't see him winning. So wide points for me for Billam-Smith. What do you think? Do you agree with me or disagree? leave your comments below. Give me a few reasons as to why you're thinking the way you're thinking. Subscribe to the channel if you could do that. That would be fantastic. And also hit the like button as well, because they count them, I'm told. And yeah, brilliant. Looking forward to reading your comments. I'll answer them. Certainly read them. I don't get a chance to answer every single one because there's too many now. But still quite a small channel, but I'm getting lots of comments. But I definitely do read them. So leave a comment and I'll give it the old thumbs up. All right. Thanks a lot then. Catch you later. Bye for now.